What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Juice and Toya podcast brought to you by One Body Los Angeles. I am your co-host, Juice.
And I am Toya. Welcome back to episode 3.
Man, we're getting after it.
Yay.
We're getting after it. We're excited. Before we get started with this podcast, quick housekeeping. If you're listening to this right now, Houston, my hometown, we are coming to you for a live summer sweat session. We have tickets available on our website. We're going to host a live workout. We're going to have some Q&A. We're going to have prizes, all type of good stuff. We already did one in Los Angeles. It was great. And we can't wait to see Houston come out, my hometown. It's going to be a special event.
Is that right?
Yes, that's the Houston symbol. So for all my Houston people.
Come sweat with us. Come have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
And also engage with some of the other Juice and Toya community. Get to meet each other, share your own testimonies, stories, journeys, and just have some fun.
Oh, yeah. So just had to put that out there real quick. But today, what's today's podcast about?
All right. So we did, our first podcast was all about who is Juice and Toya, and why we started our YouTube channel. And then today we wanted to go into, I guess, essentially the life of a fitness YouTuber, but what it's like having this YouTube channel, the work that goes into it, but also who we are outside of the YouTube channel, and the work that we do. And
we had a lot of people ask us, to make a lot of vlogs, and we want to do more vlogs, especially on our main channel. But this kind of gives us a way to, I guess, explain what our everyday looks like, because every day isn't the same for us. And you'll hear this throughout this podcast. Every day is different. We have a lot of different things that we give and put our energy into. So it's sort of hard to put into video form what a realistic day in the life looks like for us, just because, again, it's
different every day.
It can be all over the place. So as I guess we're going to kick this off by just talking about the different things that we do on a daily basis, because I think a lot of people, especially people who see us for the first time, you might type in workout, you found us on YouTube, typed in Juice and Toya, you look at us and you may think, oh, they're great YouTubers, right? You might look at us just as YouTubers, but that is a fraction of the things that we do on a daily basis to make a living for ourselves.
Yeah,
So
for a long time, we didn't like being called fitness YouTubers.
Hated it.
Because we kind of felt like it discredited from everything else that we were doing, because for a long time, YouTube was the smallest portion of what we do. And so we didn't like being called fitness YouTubers or introduced as fitness YouTubers, even though it is what we do. It is who we are, but we don't want to forget all of the other things that we do too. And now, of course, we've grown to where it's a majority of what we do, but it's still not the only thing. And as we go through this too, keep in mind, everyone is different. There might be YouTubers out there who that's what they do full time. That's all that they do. That's all that they focus on. And then there are some people who just do it as a side passion, and it might be like, kind of like when we first started, it was for fun, and it was just a very minute thing of our day, of our weeks. But so let's just get started into what does a daily routine look like for us as Juice and Toya fitness YouTubers.
So let's real quick, let's just tell everybody like what all we do. Maybe we'll put into a daily form, because like I said, every day is different, but let's talk about like what all do we focus on a daily basis. So of course we don't like being called fitness YouTubers, and that's because we're trainers first, right? We like to look at ourselves as fitness professionals first and foremost. That was what got us here. That is what started all of this, and that's who we are. That's our foundation. Everything after that is, kind of stuff that we do.
And like we mentioned in the first episode, we both went to school for kinesiology for him, nutritional science for me. And we studied health and wellness in some sort between the two of us. So we first and foremost, we are personal trainers. And within being a personal trainer, that means private clients, one-on-one clients, sometimes group clients, writing programs for your clients. We have online clients that we won't see one-on-one, but we are programming for them, which still takes getting to know them personally and understanding what it is that they need versus just writing a general program or a general workout, like, oh, this is a glute workout, but that glute workout may not work specifically for that client, right? So we are personal trainers, personalizing a training program for a client.
Yeah, and keep in mind, when it comes to personal training, it's not just, especially people that we see in person, it's not just, we don't just show up and give them a random workout and that's it. There's time off the clock that we have to put into those clients as well. Like she said, programming, if they have an injury, trying to write the workouts to make sure we're working around the injury, helping them with their nutrition, right? It's a lot of things off the clock. And sometimes it's even accountability. Like I've had clients where I would literally text them, put the chips down, and they were like, how'd you know? You know what I mean? Like we're here beyond just showing up for that personal session. So again, it's a lot more than just that kind of one-on-one interaction.
Yep.
So what else do we do? As personal training, we have our, like she said, online, we have our in-person, we have privates, virtual, but we also have our Juice and Toya app that we put a lot of energy into. And that's, again, that's more of an exclusive access thing. We tried early on in our YouTube career, we tried to comment, to really respond to all the comments and be very interactive. But as you know, and as you grow, that gets very difficult. So the Juice and Toya app is kind of our way of giving you more exclusive content, giving all of you a way to connect with us on a deeper level where we can help you personally. Again, we have a messaging feature within the app to where we message people on a daily basis to help them out. One-on-one. We have exclusive content that's not on YouTube on the app. So we create beyond YouTube as well for the Juice and Toy app as well.
Yep.
So.
And that also takes a lot of time because it's, again, even though the programs, they're not personalized one-on-one, we're still putting that program together in a way that makes sense. It's not just random workouts. We put recipes on there. The messaging feature, it's not just someone sending a long message, asking a question, and we just send back a thumbs up, right? We're engaging in conversation on the messaging. So that takes up a lot of our time as well, just really trying to make the app an exclusive platform, like he said, and just really giving people their money's worth.
For sure. That's what it's all about. So what do we have next? We also do brand content. We've worked with a lot of different brands over the course of, especially like the last 2 or 3 years, especially as our YouTube became more successful. We do a lot of brand content specifically for brands to post. A lot of times we're not even posting it. We're creating content for different companies. So, as well as the content we create for ourselves. That's a job in itself. So, that's another thing that what else do we do?
And then we don't have a personal assistant or a manager or no joke. We do everything ourselves. All the marketing, all the editing, all the filming, everything. And so with that, we are our own secretaries too. So responding to emails, these deals that he's talking about, we're going back and forth. Yeah. We should probably figure that out and hire someone to do that soon. But we're a 2-person team, and so in a day I could spend an hour responding to emails. I could spend 2 hours, or I could spend 10 minutes. It just depends on the nature of what's going on at that time. And same with editing. He could spend time editing YouTube videos as I'm editing things for the app or Instagram. We're doing things 24/7. So
pretty much that's what it feels like. And for anybody who is an entrepreneur or you kind of went off on a limb, it's not 9 to 5. It's
you quit your 9 to 5.
It's 6 to 6 or
to do 6 to
8 to 8 or even more sometimes.
Or 24/7. I'm not kidding.
Literally, we wake up and we'll get to our schedule, but we wake up early in the morning and it feels like we're not done working until 8 o'clock at night. Because there's always something. That's the thing with being an entrepreneur. It's always something that you can do to progress your business. Yeah. And sometimes you have to make time to cut it off and say, look, I'll cut it off here.
Because when we were only personal training, it was like I set one day aside that I would work on programs. And then other than that, when I was done training, I went home. I'm done. You sit down to eat dinner. There's nothing else to work on. So, so personal training, content creation. We have our app.
We have this new podcast.
We have this new
a whole nother channel which you should go subscribe to right now. The Juice and Toy podcast on YouTube. We created a whole nother, essentially, a business through this. So
and we have our merch.
And our merch.
And we have our merch that we market. Do all of the content for our merch. So all of that, and we didn't even say we also have our YouTube that we own. So outside of the YouTube, we are personal trainers. We host a podcast. We have an app, we have merch. There's a lot of things outside of the Juice and Toya YouTube.
And it's organized chaos. Like it's a lot, and we put a lot of energy, and we literally have to make our schedules throughout the week to make sure it's done efficiently, to the point where we're not, going into overdrive.
Yeah, I still use a paper calendar, like a book, and to write things in. I have to, because one, I don't want to rely on my phone. If our calendars and our phones crashed,
I don't know.
Imagine.
It's 2023.
It doesn't
matter. Your calendar's gonna crash.
But also
what
for
if the
me,
paper burns or gets wet?
That's all right. But also for me, I like the physical writing it down, seeing it. So sometimes people will email us or text us and I'm not at home. They'll be like, "Can you do this day?" And I'm like, "I don't know yet. I have to get home and look at my calendar."
That's the power of digital.
But I just, so having the paper calendar helps me stay organized, and for him, he's more electronic technology.
And if I have to add, to our original point, if I had to add one more job description to what we do is, we spend time on our bodies as well. Like, we have to get in our workouts. We have to, and this sounds cliche, and I don't know. Yeah, it sounds cliche, but like we have to put energy into ourselves to, number one, feel good. That's why I work out. I want to feel good. I want to feel healthy.
If we're doing all of this work and you don't feel good, there's no way you have the energy or drive to do all of these things if you're sluggish, fatigued, not feeling good.
Correct. And it's a lot of maintenance that we have to put into ourselves. We want to grow. We have goals that we want to achieve too as well. And honestly, like I said, the cliche part is we want to look the part, right? We don't want people looking at us like we're not practicing what we preach. Everything that we're telling you, we're trying to apply to, we are applying to ourselves on a daily basis, which
doesn't mean like be lean or
yeah, it's not all about
it's
aesthetics.
More when he says that, it's more like if we're telling you eat a variety of vegetables and fruits, if we're telling you to move your body in some way each day, if we're telling you the importance of strength training and we're not doing any of it, why would you listen to what we say? Like if you're telling me like, oh, it's important to eat your fruits and vegetables, but I don't eat fruits and vegetables, it must not be that important.
And also think of it like, actors. We have a lot of friends who are actors and actresses. Their job is to look the part. Their job is to put energy into their body, whether it's, their workouts or their training for a specific role. I can't tell you how many, actors out there who go really hard when it comes to trying to look a particular way in the film, right? So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell as well. We try to, first and foremost, train and maintain our bodies to look and feel our absolute best. That way we're confident in ourselves. When we film, we feel good, we look good. When we, going about our daily life, we have the energy to be able to perform and get through everything efficiently. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And I guess let's segue that into, let's just kind of generate, like, let's go with you. What does a typical day look like for Toya?
So a normal day, I would just say Monday through Friday, because on the weekends we don't train clients, and weekends sometimes are wake up, workout, and it's a full day of work, and sometimes we have time to go do other things. So a normal day throughout the week for me is waking up somewhere around 5 a.m. It's either a little bit before, a little bit after, but I'm always out of bed by 5:30.
Yeah. After her 3 alarms that go off.
I set 3 alarms. My first alarm is a warning to my brain. My second alarm is like, try to get up right now, but like you only have 3 more minutes. And then I set another alarm for 3 minutes later. That's like, get up right now. So after my third alarm goes off, it's time to get up. And I usually am training between 6 and 9-ish, somewhere in that time. And we just recently had to cut back our training hours. Like it used to be training until like 12 p.m. And we'll get into all that later. But so now somewhere between like 9 and 10, I'm heading to the gym to do my personal workout. And I'm try to be back by around 11. And then by the time you shower, eat lunch, all of that, I'd say it's probably like 12:30 or 1 before I'm sitting down.
Ready to work.
And I probably, my workouts are usually anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on what I'm doing. But I walk to the gym and then I walk back. Yeah. And some people might say, well, you save time by driving. No, not here. We literally live walking distance. By the time I get in the garage, get to my car, try to find parking at the gym, and then walk to the gym from wherever the parking is, I could have already been in. Right. So But yeah, usually my workouts are anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm adding in cardio that day, if I stretch right after, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so I allot like 2 hours out of my day of walking there, getting back, stretching, warming up,
Me time.
cooling down. That is the me time. And that is time that I try not to compromise or
Yeah.
give up, So if someone says, "Can I meet?" It's after the
I'm
workout.
so
Like
sorry.
I try not to compromise my workout time. So
Yeah.
anyway, somewhere between 12 and 1, I'm sitting down at my computer and I'm doing the secretary work. And then usually by like 2, I'm trying to work on stuff for the app and programs for clients.
Yep.
That usually takes me till around 3 or 4. I get up and make a snack and or lunch or whatever I need.
Yeah.
I try to go on a 20 to 30 minute walk every day. And that for me is either a walk or a run for mental health. I
Yeah.
need that time to decompress after all the secretary work, after, 3 to 4 hours of like one-on-one talking to other people.
Yeah.
And this is where when people say, "Can you hop on a quick 15 or 20-minute phone call?"
It
It's not,
sounds
it sounds easy, but a 15 to 20-minute phone call added into a long day sometimes is like, it's exhausting because I'm like, I've just given all that time to everyone else. I've just sat down, responded
Yeah.
to all these emails, the messages are one-on-one. I'm responding to a person. And that can get really brain exhausting,
Yeah.
And so sometimes if I'm hopping on phone calls, I like to take those on a walk. So I'm like, at least I'm not in front of the computer.
Multitask.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
I'm just getting out, getting some fresh air. And yeah, by the time I come back, I'm cooking dinner. Or if I'm still working on things, you're cooking dinner and I'm finishing things because you're cooking, or vice
Yeah.
versa. So, and then we probably sit down and eat around 6:30 or 7. And while we're eating, all those emails and stuff I responded to before,
They get
they've
back.
responded to me.
And now
So
you gotta
that is the
respond.
time that I sit down and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let me give back a response. Or text messages. There's times people will text me at 7, 8 a.m. I'm with clients. I can't respond to your text.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I didn't respond to any of those text messages earlier. That's when I'll respond. So
Yep.
I used to be so good about responding to text messages. And I was that person that was like, I texted you 4 hours ago. You didn't sit down to go to the bathroom. You could have texted me back.
That's
Like,
me.
I was always like, what do you mean you were busy? And now I'm like, I get it, where even when you sit down to go to the bathroom or you just take a minute to breathe, I don't want to text anyone back because I need a second to breathe,
Yeah.
So it's kind of gotten to a point now where there's always something to work on, like he said. Like
Yeah.
there's never a time during the week that I'm not opening up my computer and either having to edit a video, respond to a text message, respond to an email. We've missed opportunities like brand deals and stuff because I'm like, whoops, saw that email a week too late. Sorry, time has passed. So
Yeah.
it's a lot. It piles up. So normal day, I would say, is 5:30 a.m. to about 8:30 p.m. I try to shut my computer,
Yeah.
and that's a normal day.
And even then, she's still on a computer because that's when she decompresses and probably gets on social media and like, it's just
Yeah.
consuming.
I try to be in bed by 9 o'clock at the latest because if I don't get 8 hours of sleep,
Oh no.
it's
Scary.
it's like I get migraines. I don't feel good. Like anything less than 7, and
Yeah.
it's awful. So I try to get my full 8. So I try to be in bed by 9 because I know that first alarm goes off somewhere around 5:10.
Yeah.
So if I fall asleep by 9:10 to
It's
5:10,
a
that's 8
whole
hours.
mathematical equation to get her to sleep. So, and that's just to get like, she tries to go to bed early. At least I do too, but she tries to go to bed early to try to shut her brain off before she can actually
But how
go to
many
sleep.
times do we lay down and I'm like, literally eyes closed, I'll pop up and be like, oh, I got to send this
Yeah,
person
and
a text back
I'm
really
like,
quick.
Toya,
Like,
put your phone down, do
yeah.
it tomorrow.
It's
Like
it's hard because
she's so
if I
wild.
don't do it right then, I might forget tomorrow, and
Yeah.
then it's just so.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So usually my day is 5:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. of nonstop doing something.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your day look like?
That was a lot. I'll try to shorten mine up. So, real quick, I get up. I've changed. I used to be 4 a.m. club, and now it's kind of,
We hit 30.
we hit, 30 hit me hard, and I realized I need more sleep. So, I get up in between on any given day. Between, it can be 4 a.m. and it can be 5:30. It just depends on the day. And for me, it used to be where I used to spend at least the first 30 minutes putting some type of energy into myself. I try to start the day doing something for myself, whether I used to read, which I need to get back into. I try to do some type of stretch or something. And what's really consumed most of that the last 6 months is my Achilles rehab. I'm doing some type of stretches because it gets really tight in the mornings. And at 6 a.m. usually that's when I start training. And we do mostly virtual. I have a few clients that I see in person, but it's mostly virtual between like she does 6 to 8, 6 to 9 a.m. And then after that is me time. I have to, have those 2 hours or so to just really decompress because, and as you notice, everything that we do on any given basis, if it isn't about us, it's about somebody else. Whether it's for the 1.2 million on YouTube or all the people that we have on the app or, the people that we're responding to.
Our families,
our family.
friends.
Like
we have friends.
Yes, we do. We have a life. But it's a lot of energy into other people. So that workout time is like we take very serious. And sometimes like I have to catch myself because even at the gym, like I get kind of not annoyed, but like I'm looking at the clock. Like if someone's having a conversation with me, I don't mind it. But if it starts to get lengthened, I'm like, all right, this is
Let me have my time. Yes, you're soaking up my me time.
You know what I mean? So that 9 to 11ish or 10 to 12 is usually that window where we try to work out and we try to go together to motivate each other because even after 3 clients, sometimes you're like, okay, now it's my turn. You know what I mean? It can be exhausting sometimes too, depending on the day. So after that, come home, eat, grab some lunch. Usually it's a late breakfast, brunch, whatever. And then for me, as soon as I get back, it's mostly some type of edit that I have to do. It's always I have an editing like checklist calendar of things that I have to get done, whether it's for the YouTube. We try to put, at least 1, maybe 2 videos out a week on YouTube. We have a brand new podcast now. So I'm putting out, a podcast episode as well as on all the platforms. I'm editing for Instagram. I'm editing for the brand sponsorships that we're doing as well. So my editing usually takes place between 12 and 4. That's like, I just put my head down. If Toya sees that door closed, that means I'm going to work. I'm hitting the ground running. And then 4 o'clock is when I usually try to take a break. And that's when she'll say, hey,
you want to go on a walk?
Want to go on a walk? I'm like, you know what? I would love a walk.
I would love some fresh air.
Yeah, so we'll walk like 1 or 2 miles just to get some fresh air. And sometimes we'll even take a meeting at that time just to kind of multitask and get some activity done at the same time. Come back, another 2 hours. I'll probably edit another couple of hours. We'll eat dinner. And depending on what we have to put out, sometimes I'm staying up late. I might cut it off at 9 o'clock, or some nights it's just one of those nights where I got to get some stuff done. So as you can see, it's not a set schedule. It's not 9 hours. It's rarely just 9 hours. We're working, 12 to 16 hours a day. And, at the end of the day, and just recently I figured out that I have to make time for myself. Mm-hmm. Like we put a lot of energy into other people. We put a lot of energy into our craft, and which again involves helping people. So we have to allot time for ourselves, doing things we want to do. And it was only 2 years ago we stopped working on the weekends.
Yeah, we used to train all day on Saturdays too.
Not all day. We usually train up to like 12. Yeah. But even then, like you train up until 12, you only have 12 hours and not even, 8 hours of the rest of the day to do things or to enjoy yourselves. In most cases, when we were training up until noon, we were tired. We were like, I don't feel like... And
we hadn't worked out yet.
So that's pretty much in a nutshell of like what our daily lives look like. Again, we're to a point now, when we're blessed to a point now where we can make time for things that we want to do, especially for ourselves, and make time for ourselves. But it gets very difficult from week to week. And that's why you kind of see us, we take a decent amount of vacations, and that's because we're working essentially 7 days a week, even though we're not training.
We're working on vacation probably 98% of the time. I'm not kidding. In Hawaii, we were literally
we did
working.
A live stream.
We did a live stream for the app. We were promoting a challenge in the app and finished the challenge in Hawaii. I can't think of one vacation, even our honeymoon, that we weren't doing some type of work. So we're at a position where we can work from anywhere, essentially, especially like he said, our clients are virtual. Mm-hmm. A lot of the content we create is obviously virtual. And so we can take some time and still do work wherever we are. Yep. But we rarely are like, let's take a break and don't bring anything with us and just relax.
Yeah,
Like,
it's we take a lot of trips because again, we have to get out the house. We have to get out of our
change the scenery.
we have to change the scenery up a lot. And sometimes you'll see us we'll post a video somewhere and like, "Oh my gosh, you guys got a new house." Like, no, we rented an
No.
Airbnb because we had to get out of our apartment. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's just the nature of our everyday. At some point, we're going to have to hire somebody. Like it's going to be too thick and we have to
Yeah.
kind of break
'Cause
everything up.
we
But
work from home. Like, everything we do is from home. So sometimes being here 24/7,
yeah.
you lose the creativity, and so
Yeah.
we take those trips just to like work in a different environment to be more productive.
Seriously. So
yeah.
that is our schedules in a nutshell. It changes on, you know, especially weeks where we're filming too. You know,
Yeah.
that is our, like we mentioned in our last podcast, that is our workout for the day on Wednesdays. So we, you know, you cut that 9 to 11 out, but from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
we're filming. So, you know, we'll get more into that. But now let's segue into, you know, we talked about our daily schedule. So now everybody knows like we're busy. It's crazy out here. But we want to, you know, we got a lot of questions in regards to what is the creative process behind, you know, our YouTube specifically. Again, we try to stay on topics. It's about life of a fitness YouTuber. So we want to talk about the process in which we create these videos. So let's just start at the top. Like when it comes to these videos, again, we've mentioned before, our content is built off of your feedback. Everything, not everything, but a lot of the workouts that you guys mention or want us to create, we take those into account. Some of them are a little wild now. Like y'all ask for big toe workouts sometimes. I'm like, I don't know how I don't know. But you know, it's built off of your feedback. And I think that's the key to our success the last couple of years is just really, you know, finding what you want to see and what you guys are missing from our YouTube channel. And we try to put it in a way that's fresh, it's new, and obviously beneficial and makes sense for you guys. So when it comes to starting our workouts, like we have to generate those ideas, whether you gave it to us or we come up with it ourselves. And we, again, take that time throughout the day to meet. Like we meet, like this is a business for us. Like, of course, we're husband and wife, but like when it comes to business, like we have to take that time to really sit down and have a business meeting. You know what I mean? Like we write this stuff off. You know what I mean? Like this is our part of our business. So we write down these ideas, whether it's a 30-minute full body dumbbell workout. We're like, okay, that's the workout we're going to do. Or when we're filming, we usually film 3 workouts at a time or 3 different videos at a time. So we'll say, all right, Wednesday, we're going to do a 30-minute dumbbell workout, full body dumbbell workout. We're going to do a 30-minute cardio HIIT workout, and then we'll finish up with maybe like a 10-minute finisher workout, right?
Yep.
We generate the ideas. So once we have the ideas, we write all the workouts out. So like just kind of talk about like writing those workouts.
Whenever we write the workouts, it more so is like, what are we trying to accomplish? Or do we want them to get a good strength workout? Is the point of this to get the heart rate up?
Yeah.
And because we're personal trainers, we understand programming and what makes sense. So, you know, we try to keep it in a sense of like, for example, if we're doing a strength workout, we're not going to have you standing and on the ground in a YouTube workout because it's not efficient, right? Then all your rest period is wasted. Even though in a traditional strength workout, you might have some things on the ground, then you might have to stand back up again. But we try to write the workouts also in a way that makes sense of filming them and also in a way that makes sense of following them as well. And then with that being said too, like he mentioned, you know, let's say we're shooting 3 different things. We have to make sure those 3 things we can film efficiently. So when we're writing these workouts, if we write them out and we're like, oh, that's going to be a hard workout, maybe we can't shoot both the 30-minute ones. Sometimes we'll take that idea, put it on another day, and then come up with another workout that we could do that's like, okay, what flows into this shooting day, you know? So sometimes when we write out these workouts, because we understand a training program and because we understand a workout, we know when a workout is difficult. Sometimes people will comment and be like, this was really hard. And we're like, we know, like we wrote it. So we understand when we're writing it, what we're getting into. It's not just oh, this sounds fun and let's put this. We also know sometimes when we're writing it, there's been times where he'll come to me and say, I wrote this workout. And I'm like, you only gave us 5 seconds of rest. Like we're going to need 10 or 15 in there, you know? So we write them out so that we can see what is this workout going to look like? You know, we don't just get in front of the camera and we're like, this feels good. Let's just do this, you know? So it's a full workout, and majority of the time it's workouts that we've either done before or exercises that we've paired together and we're like, oh, that was a good glute burner, let's put this into a
let's
glute
add this
workout,
in.
so
And also we got to be smart about too, being tired. Like if we did we filmed an hour-long workout, which I'm sure you can guess is very exhausting, and then we had I think we had like a 30-minute workout after that. And I remember after that hour workout, I was like, man, that was exhausting. Because keep in mind, like, we are doing, and if you don't know, we're doing the workouts along with you. There's no cutting. We're not cutting the camera and then filming the exercise. We're doing this along with you.
With the rest period.
With the rest period, everything. And then, filming the intro, the outro, the warm-up, the cool-down, like, it adds up energy-wise, right? So on a day where we know we're filming an hour-long workout, we might film an hour-long workout with a dynamic stretch or like a cool down stretch, because we know after that workout, it's going to
really
be,
need that.
we're going to need that stretch, and it kind of makes sense for us, and it gives us, again, still 2 to 3 pieces of content at the same time. So we have to do it in a way to where it's efficient. And also we don't want to look tired in the workout too, because if you look tired, your form is going to break. And then, what do I look like? You're looking at me for form, and my back is arched and my my heels are off the ground. Like, we want to make it to where it's efficient for us to be able to perform. A lot of you comment like, we love your energy, like your energy is so infectious, and we try to keep that. We don't want to look tired and beat up in the workout. We want to look like you're working out with us and we're all getting started together. So that's the thought process in the sense of film or writing the workouts. And then that's when we sort of transition to like, all right, where are we going to film these workouts? In most cases, and a lot of you have seen in our videos, we rent out a space. It's like a warehouse space that we I think it was
just
like
an open space.
Yeah, it's like 2021 when we first found this space, and it was just like this little warehouse space. I wanted something like light and bright and like just kind of easy on the eyes to look at, something fresh. And I remember a lot of people commenting, it's like, wow, I love the space. Like this, it makes the videos look better. So we've been renting out this space for a while now, but sometimes it's a lot easier for us to film in our apartment, to where, if you guess, we move all of our furniture around to be able to create that sort of living workout space, to where we're able to do workouts. And even then, we're not able to do certain types of workouts.
Right, because we're on a what floor are we on? Second floor.
Second floor.
And so you don't want to, you want to be respectful to the people underneath you. So when it comes to like a HIIT workout or like medicine ball slams or something like that, we obviously can't do that here. So there's times that we'll, film here, but anytime we go use the space, we're renting that. So we're reinvesting into the channel all of the time, the money, everything, into creating a lot of these workouts and videos, because a lot of the time we're not shooting here or at home, we're filming at a space somewhere
that we're paying for.
Exactly. Because another thing, we want to be efficient with our time. So a lot of times it's like we mentioned earlier, it's hard to be motivated and have that energy that he was talking about here, because everything we do is from home. So there's some days where we plan to film here and we both are just like, I'm not feeling it today. It's just like the energy is low and we both are just like, I need to get out. So majority of the time we'll rent the space. It makes sense. It does add up cost wise, but it pays off in the sense of what we're able to produce out of renting that space.
And then, so to move forward, after we film it, say we film 3 workouts, we come home, we're tired, we got to get some food, we're beat up, take a shower, and we both look at each other on the couch like, did we really just film 3 workouts today?
Yes.
And after that, it's from there. It's just editing. It's just piecing everything together. So, we got a couple camera angles. It takes time to get. We shoot in 4K, so like it takes time to get that copied onto the computer. And like if we film 3 workouts, that usually covers us for a couple weeks. We try to put at least 1 video out per week, sometimes 2. So, if we film a video, you might not even see it for another 3 weeks. It just depends. Or sometimes we film twice in a week to get 6 or 8 videos down, and we just kind of spread those out over the course of a couple months. It's just very efficient for us. We kind of figured out a system that works well for our schedule, to the point where, again, if anybody's on YouTube, if you're a YouTuber, the name of the game is being consistent, and we want to, kind of stand by that. So from an editing standpoint, it takes me anywhere between, depending on the video, like that hour-long video that we did, that that takes a lot of time. That'll take me like 2 or 3 days to put together, but it typically takes me like a day or so to edit the video and get it on.
Graphics,
And
all the
then
fun stuff.
also I create the thumbnails, all the the little aspects that go into it. So,
well, one thing I want to say that kind of falls into the life of a fitness YouTuber
yeah,
or a YouTuber, period. And I'm sure this has happened to everyone. You know how frustrating it is when you get home and you go to look at all the footage and somebody forgot to start the camera and then you
oh
have
my
to refilm.
God.
That gets frustrating because
I can't tell you how
it's
many
either
times
that or like the sound wasn't right
Man,
and you can't just
it's
refilm
tough.
the intro. And so not only did you waste all of that time,
And money.
but the money that you
Yeah.
spent renting the space, like you said, if we film on Wednesdays and we film for 4 hours, like imagine doing 4 hours of work
And you
and you
didn't
have
press
to
record.
redo all of it. That has happened to us a couple of times. And a few of the times it's happened, the videos we've refilmed, we're happy we refilmed them because they ended
Yeah.
up being better. But it's still, like we just talked about, how exhausting and long our days are, and we hardly have time for ourselves.
Yeah.
When you waste 4 hours, it gets very frustrating, and it sometimes
She's frustrated
if
right
you're
now talking about it.
it is, man. But I kind of want it to lead into the next thing on like the work that it takes
Yeah.
it to be consistent and like to have something like that happen. Sometimes it makes you want to stop doing it, where you're like, I'm not redoing that. I'm moving on to the next
It literally
thing.
happened to me last week where we had all these we had 3 workouts planned and I forgot all the clothes,
Yes.
the outfits that I had
Yes.
for like literally everything.
We were shooting our merch, so all he had was our merch. He didn't have his
I
clothes
didn't even
to
want
actually
to wear
work
that
out
because
in.
this is our merch. I wanted to take pictures of it, and we still had some content that we needed to do for it, and we had to literally reroute because
Yep.
I didn't have any clothes. Like
That's
and,
right.
and more so for me, it was the shoes.
Yeah.
Because we had a more of a cardio style workout, and like again, I just ruptured my Achilles not too long ago, so I'm very meticulous about the type of shoes that I'm wearing. I have to wear the right shoes to perform that exact workout.
Yep.
So I can't do a cardio workout in weightlifting shoes. Like
Right.
it's going to be very uncomfortable, and I don't want to risk injuring myself. So with that, it's about rerouting. Like sometimes we have to literally reroute what we did, and we filmed one workout, and we just got a whole bunch of like Instagram content, a whole bunch of
we still made use of the time.
we still made use of the time, but
yeah.
you know, it's never perfect. It's always going to be obstacles if something comes in your way. So, you know, those are things that, of course, if you're a consumer and you're watching these videos, you're not thinking about what goes into it,
Nope.
but it's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that just make it a lot more difficult than what it should be.
And that kind of brings us into the next portion of this podcast, is the work that it takes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will see, hundreds, thousands of subscribers or a million subscribers, and they assume like dollar signs,
Yeah,
right?
they got it made.
Right. And so a lot of the times, majority of the times, YouTubers are not monetizing what you think they're monetizing. And in fact, we didn't start monetizing even what something that would be worth like, oh, okay, we're starting to make some money for years.
It took us a year and like 3 months to make $10 a month on YouTube.
Yes. Like he's not kidding. Like $10 a month. Because we didn't even start monetizing until about a year in is when like the monetizing, we were eligible for monetizing, I should say. And then from there, we were like, oh, okay, we get to start making money. And I remember seeing like $10 and I was like, what? Like,
but it's also exciting too. I'm not gonna lie, it was exciting too because after
we celebrated.
a year, after a year of just like, and if you're looking to get into YouTube and you want to do it for money, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to understand that you got to give yourself some grace because it's going to take time before you get to a point where you're not only making money, but you're making a livable wage to where you can maybe put more energy into it and sacrifice maybe the side job or the job that you had to support your YouTube channel. You know what I mean? So. It's a lot of things that go into just kind of making that happen.
Yep.
So.
And then the money that you are making from your real job, for us at the time, again, we were training from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. We had 8 to 10 clients a day. A piece, And so when we first started doing our YouTube, it was a lot harder for us to be consistent because we were making money training. Mm-hmm. That was our job. And so when you're not making money on the YouTube or the content, it's hard to say, I'm not training 8 to 10 clients today because I have to go film. Yeah. You're giving up a big chunk of your revenue. Exactly. And so we just got to a point where we can say, okay, now we can start putting more of our energy into the YouTube and,
it's putting,
you make your time your time is a lot more valuable now.
For
You know,
sure.
you understand the power of 1 hour. Like I just told you, a 15 to 20-minute phone call, I don't even have time for sometimes. So let
It's not
alone
a joke,
another
man.
client of another hour.
Yeah.
So,
So with that, I'd say probably 2 years into our YouTube channel is when we started to make, money that we could actually pay a bill with. You know what I mean? Like
which was
it was exciting
exciting.
because again, to see 2 years of hard work go into something to where you can start making passive income in a sense, like it was such a good feeling because you didn't want to. That's the thing. I personally almost quit YouTube or quit making these videos because I felt like the time that we put into it wasn't worth essentially not getting paid. You know what I mean? But again, it was you guys. It was the comments. It was the
Oh, yeah.
feedback. It was just the people saying, "Wow, you changed me. I lost 20 pounds," or I haven't been to the doctor in 6 months, or
It was a reward that wasn't monetary.
like my cholesterol was down. And once we realized like we're actually helping people, it was much more than money. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And then like the monetization just became a byproduct of just really making it about the people, which we did from the very beginning. It was all about you guys and supporting and helping. And once we got to a point where people see like, wow, these people, like they actually care about me. They want to see me better.
Right.
Like they're putting stuff in place to help me. It became a lot easier for us to grow. And again, for
Put
anybody
more
who's doing
energy.
YouTube, the money will make itself. Focus on your audience, focus on helping them, providing them with, valuable content, and that will come. Like
Yeah.
if I could look at it from a different lens, like just focus on the people and the people will support.
And I'll say too, we were full-time personal trainers, and then once the pandemic hit, that was pretty much taken from us. Like the
Yeah.
job that we knew became all virtual, and so
Yeah.
we thrived off of the energy of seeing our clients succeed and like seeing our clients every day. And then once it became virtual, it was like, that drive, it was different. And so once we started to see people really benefit from the channel, it made us happy because that's what we've lived for. It was
Yeah.
like, we've been personal trainers pretty much all of our adult life, to where our goal was to help our clients succeed in whatever their goal was. So to see like strangers, people we'd never met,
Yeah.
succeed in a way that we wanted for our clients, we were like, whoa, like we're able to help more people than just the one-on-one,
Right.
and it's all at the same time. So
Yeah.
we fed off of that energy. We made $0 and just looked every day for comments of people saying like, this helped me, or best workout I've ever done, or
Yeah.
I've never used weights before and now I'm strength training every day. We literally looked for those comments and we were like, let's do another one. Let's
Yeah.
do another
Yeah.
one. So that kept us going and
Yeah.
filming and creating these workouts.
Yeah. So I say like 2.5 years down the road, I think we were probably just over 50K or
Yeah.
something like that. We started to make money to where not only could we pay a bill or two, we could also reinvest, because I've studied the formula of success when it comes to any business, but also just YouTube in general. You always have to reinvest into your channel. You always have to grow. You always have to, it has to be some sort of evolution as you go along. If you're a one trick pony, it's gonna burn out at some point. So when you guys, the biggest question we have, man, I wish you guys would turn to the side or had a different camera so I could see your form better. So we were like, all right, I guess we gotta invest in another camera. And I'm a camera geek, if you didn't know. Like I love cameras. Like I want to buy another one right now. But I did a lot of research as to what's gonna give us the best opportunity to grow in a sense of quality. Like I want to put out quality content. We film everything in 4K. We want it to look good. We know a lot of you perform these workouts on your TVs, which that's a big screen.
Yeah.
Some of you got some big 60 inches, right? So we film everything in 4K. We want everything to look good, to be quality and to be timeless. So we had to invest, a lot of money into the audio. You know what I mean? Like we realized like audio is important. I know a lot of people who won't watch a video just because the audio sounds
Do you remember
better.
when we got our new cameras? We said it in the video at the beginning of the video. We're like,
Yeah.
does the audio
I was
sound different?
Yeah, because we couldn't figure out for the longest time. We had this mic, and I guess it was defected, and I thought that's just what the mic sounded like. And comes out the mic wasn't even working for like 5 or 6 videos that we made, and I was like, this is terrible. So
Not
then when
good.
we got like a mic, I put it into my computer. I'm like, man, this audio
This
sounds
is what it's
amazing.
supposed to sound
This is
like.
what it's supposed to sound like. So to this point, we reinvest a lot back into the channel in one way or another, whether it's getting another camera. if you film with a camera before, it's not just the camera body. You have to buy the lenses to go along with the camera, the memory cards, the tripods, the lighting. We bought like
The
these big
spaces to film.
the spacing, the lighting setups. I had to, I had my old computer only had 8 GB of RAM, and if you're trying to process 4K footage with 8 GB of RAM, good luck, because it's not happening. So I had to invest in a fully decked out as far as CPU and memory and all that stuff, computer, right? And then once Toya started really getting into editing, she had to do the same.
Let me tell you something.
So,
There was nothing more frustrating than a slow computer trying to edit.
Oh my goodness, it's terrible.
I was like, how do you do this? And he's like, on a different computer. Like, it's not the same.
And keep in mind, at the time where we were reinvesting a lot, we weren't swimming in cash. Like, these were actual investments. I remember being at Sammy's Camera in Los Angeles, looking at my account, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to spend a lot of money on this camera, but you know what? I'm going to make it worth it.
And a lot of money. Like, they are thousands of dollars and then more thousands on lenses and more. Like, it's not just a few $100s. Like,
it's an investment.
When he said, we're going to spend this much on a camera, I was like, we're doing what?
Exactly. But again, it turned out to work out in our favor. This is what you guys asked for. And again, the reinvesting worked because it allowed us to put out more quality content. It allowed us to get that extra angle to where that's a whole nother demographic. If people see you got a couple angles and it helps them with their form, like that's what keeps people in and keeps them coming back. So, we take a lot of the reinvestment into ourselves and into our brand. Even with another thing, the events that we're doing, right? The events that we did in LA, in Houston, the ones that we're continuing to do in the future, right? We're putting money into that, and we're not necessarily making money from these events.
Right.
We're just doing
ticket sales. It
just covering
sometimes
the
doesn't
space.
even cover the space. Yeah, the space, especially the LA ones. Like, those spaces are expensive. The time, everything we have to purchase to put into the event. It's more us giving back to the Juice and Toy community in a sense of like having that in person that we love so much, the energy. Just having a chance for everyone to get together. But
that's just a few ways.
Cool.
Just kind of reinvesting, but also it's to a point where we want to put more energy into our content, our YouTube, and everywhere else, to the point where we can just continue to put out more. And it's going to change as we go along. Like she said, like we said, we're going to have to end up hiring people and to help us out in certain areas because it's going to get pretty tough. But as we with that being said, let's just kind of move forward with, I want to talk about support because I think that's huge. And I think that's something that's highly overlooked. And I catch myself doing it a lot of times too. So like, let's say for example, Instagram, right? Instagram is quick content. We're swiping. We see one thing that's funny. We swipe away, right? It's so easy to consume things on a daily basis to the point where you kind of, you miss the sense of supporting those creators. So let's say there's somebody that, let's say they're a fitness influencer and you've been following them for a couple years now, and you've been taking their workouts, everything they show, you write them down, you do those workouts, but you don't really, engage with the content, right? You don't really comment, you don't really like it or share it or put it on your story, right? That makes a huge difference. And if you find yourself using that content and you're using the information, or if somebody who's entertaining you and they're making you laugh and you're just swiping on, like that's a missed opportunity that I think to just at the very least support them. You don't have to give them money. You don't have to give them, donate to whatever they're doing. But you got to realize as a creator, there's some people, I try not to be like, we try not to depend a lot on validation, but within the creator community, you kind of need that validation to even know like what you're doing is working. So for example, if I put out a workout, I put out 20 different ab exercises. And at one point it had almost more saves than likes.
Right.
Like more people are saving this for later to do than actually engaging with the content, liking and commenting and saying, oh, it's helped me in this way. So that's supporting your creators can do a lot for them mentally because it helps them understand like, wow, everything that I'm doing is not for waste. Like people are actually benefiting from this. They're actually helping other people and they can physically see that. If you're not commenting and just using the content and going about your life, that's a missed opportunity that I think you can really help that particular creator.
Yeah, and I think just piggybacking off everything we said, it takes hours sometimes to
make a
create a video that could literally be 15 seconds. Like no joke, a 15-second reel sometimes can take someone hours between editing and filming and getting it all together and posting it.
Yeah.
And like he said, we're swiping. We're like, haha, cool, keep going. They may think like, I just spent all that time on this video and no one cared about it, right? And it's not even just, like you said, giving them validation, but ways to support them keeps them going, because just like we mentioned, for us, we were not making money on YouTube. So if we would have stopped making YouTube videos because we weren't making money, so many people that did benefit from the videos, they may not be working out today, you know? And so you never know who you can be inspiring just by sharing them, by supporting them. There's so many different ways to do that. You can share their content, like you said, like it, engage it. That costs literally $0 to do that. You can purchase their merch. If they have an app or a program or an ebook that they're selling, you can purchase those things if you do have the monetary means to support them. But supporting a creator in any way is going to keep them motivated to keep going. So if it's helping you, you're helping yourself by supporting them. Because it's going to keep them creating more content, whatever it is. It can be fitness content, recipes that you enjoy, advice, relationship advice, whatever it is. If they're helping you in some way, support them, because you have no idea the amount of work that goes into it.
Like, we can sit here and say it all we want, but it still doesn't amount to like
for some people,
what actually goes into it.
It's not their main job, and they work maybe 9 to 5, and then they come home from 5 to 8 and work on content. You know, like, you never know that they could put out a video and be like, if this doesn't perform well, I give up because I've been trying, you know. And then you're engaging with them and letting them know how much you appreciate their content. That's keeping them excited to keep creating, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, whatever the platform is. If it's helping you, support them in some way.
Especially if they're putting out content on a consistent basis and you're looking for it too. Because let's be honest, there are people's content that we look for. We don't even necessarily follow. Even following somebody.
Or subscribing to YouTube is free.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I don't know if you guys know. You know,
a subscription is free.
Literally, I think subscribe kind of scares people away from pressing the button because they think they have to pay something. It's free, right? Pressing the follow button is free. Like, there's a lot of free ways that you can support your creators that will just give them a feeling that they're doing something right, or a feeling of hope that somebody's benefiting from this, somebody's watching this, and I'm really changing somebody's life on a daily basis. If they're not getting, and granted, of course the content has to be good. I'm not saying I'm not saying just go comment on anybody's and it's not great content, but
if it helps
you in any particular way, like I guarantee you would do that creator a good service by just engaging with their content in any way. So for us particularly, you know, I want to start off by saying just thank you to everybody who's supported everything that we've done. In
any way. Like we mentioned earlier, just the comments at the beginning, that's what kept us going.
Yeah, it's like we have, you know, when we did our challenges early on, I didn't even want to put a donation button on our challenges just because, like, I hate asking for money. And it wasn't even a sense of asking, but I just, like, I never wanted people to feel like,
they had to pay.
Like, please help me. You know what I mean? But it was more so because people asked us. They were like, how can we support? Is there anything that we can do to support, even if it's just a couple dollars? Like, I'm inspired by what you guys are doing. And so I just like, all right, you know, let's put the donation. And it was overwhelming. Like, just like people who were just, even if it was $1. Like,
people care to help you. Like, they understand the work that goes into it and what it's doing for them.
Yeah. So, you know, thank you to everybody who's, you know, supported us in the ways that we mentioned, you know, whether it's just liking the video or commenting and let us know. Sharing the video. Or there's a thanks button now under on YouTube where you can click that thanks button. You can donate whatever it is in your heart to donate. Like, all those little donations help us, you know, not only keep going and stay motivated, but also, again, reinvest. Like, it sounds like we need to hire somebody with our crazy schedule. So even doing that will allow us to reinvest and maybe put somebody in a place to help us in an area to where we can generate more time. If we have more time, guess what?
Content.
We can create more content and we can put out more, you know, whether it's more podcasts or put more content on the app, more content on the YouTube. Like, the support goes a long way than just money in the pocket. You know, like it's so many different ways in which having that sort of support and feedback really pushes us forward. So, if you want to support us in any way, let's talk about, just real quick before we get out of here, let's talk about the levels of which we try to give content
Yeah.
and give value out to the people. So
Yeah. So like we said earlier, our aim and mission was to be able to help people.
that's
And
it.
so once we realized the reach that we had on YouTube to help others, we also realized there are so many other ways to grow. So we do circuit style training when we lift. Like we'll put in follow along workouts whenever we need some motivation, or if I need like to do a quick workout at home, I'll do our own videos. But we try to teach people as well. We don't want to just give you workouts and be like, here's a good workout, here's a good workout. We want you to learn more about your fitness journey too.
Yeah.
And so that's where we kind of have the app where we kind of look at that as almost like an advancement of the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
The YouTube channel, you've gotten to a routine, you learned the workouts that work for you and that you enjoy working out, etc. And then with the app, it's more how can you advance yourself? You know, how you're learning about different styles of training programs. You're learning about more specified training. So I want to build my glutes or, you know, specific muscle groups and things like that. And you're learning how to build your own program, your own routine. But the app costs money. So if someone isn't able to monetarily support in that way, the YouTube is still a free resource, right? Then we have the app, which is $15 a month, where you get just a little bit more. But then we also have training programs that we write personalized for people. And then, like we mentioned, we have our one-on-one training. So there are different ways in which we try to help others, no matter what your goal is, no matter what area in your fitness journey you are, there is some way that we can assist you.
Yes, whether your social economic status, like, you know, if you don't have the money to afford to invest in the app, again, these YouTube workouts aren't going anywhere. We aren't stopping. Right?
When we first got the app, people were like, does this mean you're stopping YouTube?
Are you stopping at YouTube? I was like, no.
We were like, why would you even think like never in our mind with that, you know, because we understand the reach that it has helped people. And I remember the first time I cried from someone showing us their progress from YouTube workouts. I was like, that was from the YouTube workouts?
No
like
way.
It was shocking to me. And that's when we're like, wow, like really genuinely changing lives, you know? And so we always want there to be different resources that we can provide people. And the consultations, that's another thing. So on the one-on-one messaging on the app, if it's like, you deeply have a question personalized to yourself, we offer consultations to be able to talk you through it and really explain something that's personalized to you versus just a broad general answer.
So there are levels to the ways in which we try to provide resources to help people. Again, no matter what your fitness level is, what your money's like, it doesn't matter. We have things in place to make sure everybody has something, you know, nobody's left out. You know, we're even trying to find ways to get kids involved and understanding, like, we got to reach out to the younger generation to make them understand that health and fitness is very important, because the younger you start and the younger you understand, you know, your body and understand that being healthy is important, you know, it's going to buy you longevity. It's going to help kids understand that, like, I need to take care of my body. I need to take care of my mental health. And it's going to save them from a lot of trauma, a lot of things that they might go through in the future as well. So, again, we appreciate all of your support. Again, check out the app. If you haven't already, you got 7 days free. After that, it's $15 a month. I know a lot of people who just got the app just out of genuine support who have not even opened it since they got it. So, you know, seriously, for those people, you know, we appreciate
Thank you.
Again, the thanks button on the YouTube channel. We have people who, God bless you guys. You know, you donate. We have people who, donate every day or every month, every time they do a workout. Even if it's 50 cents, $1, like, just to show their support. And it's all love, and man, we appreciate it. And
we have new merch coming.
And if you didn't know, we are partnered. We have partnership with Lululemon. So One Body LA and Lululemon, we have basically our branding on Lululemon merch. So if you're not familiar with Lululemon, it's the best clothes out there. Okay, it's quality.
Shout out to Lululemon.
Shout out to Lululemon. And then also shout out to LaToya. She just became a Lululemon ambassador. Shout out. That's amazing.
So that's another way that you can support is through our merch, but also get yourself some new workout gear. Where we've had people like, you know what, once I lose X amount of weight, I'm going to buy this from your merch. You know, like it's almost like rewarding themselves. So check out our new merch. But we say all this to say, this is the life of a fitness YouTuber. Wow. There are majority of YouTubers. There are so many other things they're doing behind the scenes. And kind of the purpose of this podcast for us was to let you know what does go on, not just for us, but any YouTuber creator that you're following, watching, subscribe to, whatever, support them, because you never know how it can push them to keep going. You never know that your words of encouragement that day, or you letting them know how much they've helped you, can be what keeps them creating more content.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's a crazy journey. And again, this isn't everyone's YouTube journey. There are some people that they wake up, they film a YouTube workout, and that's all they have to do. And it's a wonderful life, I'm sure. But there is so much that we put to use. I always say I never want my 4 hard years of college to go to waste. Yeah. Like, I want to utilize that degree. But no, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of a Juice and Toya workout that has nothing to do with the YouTube, and some things that have everything to do with the YouTube channel. So we appreciate the support that you guys have given us in continuing all of this work.
Yeah. So again, just to recap, all of your support goes into, just us being able to live. It goes into us being able to reinvest in our content. It goes into us being able to reinvest in ourselves. Again, we didn't even mention education, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of certifications in education, a lot of things that we're wanting to pursue. And again, a lot of it is time and not having the time to do it. But again, that money that we get, we reinvest it into ourselves. She's doing
so that we can teach you other things.
She's doing mobility and flexibility. So once we're able to get these certifications and learn more about the body, we're able to turn that around and give you that information and give you that content. So again, we mentioned this before. We're not going to put anything out that we don't know. We're not going to put anything out that we're not knowledgeable in or feel comfortable teaching you. So that, all the resources that we get, again, we reinvest it, funnel it back into the business, back into ourselves, to where we can, we're not one trick ponies. Again, we want to give you everything, the motivation, the nutrition, the workouts, and everything in between. So we appreciate you guys, man. We love you.
Yes.
It's been a heck of a journey these last 4 years on YouTube. And again, your support in many different ways is what keeps us going and it keeps us here.
And we're going to keep going. We have so many more plans for the YouTube channel, for this YouTube channel, and for our Juice and Toya YouTube channel. We have so many exciting plans. And again, that is thanks to you and your excitement for us to continue growing as well.
For sure. So, man, that pretty much wraps the life of a fitness YouTuber. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a rating, 5 stars, please support, just like we mentioned. Again, subscribe to the Juice and Toya podcast YouTube channel, and wherever you listen to podcasts, be sure to share it and to anybody who you think might benefit from just listening to these conversations. Again, this is health and fitness. We have so much more to talk about.
Yes, and let us know if you have any topic suggestions, questions, things that you want us to discuss. But
that's pretty much it. So we appreciate all of you for joining us for another Juice podcast. We thank you, and we'll see you at the next one.
See you all at the next one. Whenever